And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to some more WTL Code A action. Hope you enjoyed that break. As we are back here with another series. It's going to be Team Starlight Twinkle up against Team ABYDOS. So the winner of this series is going to move on to the grand finals of the team to face Team Basilisk as well. So, oh boy, these teams, as a reminder, have already qualified for Code S. This is just for placement, for seeding, but also for a lot of money as well. And of course, I'm not alone. To join me in this beautiful TBT, I have my beautiful co-caster. Oh, my AsherBro.
Oh. Yeah, it's Spirit vs. Cure. I mean, someone's got to watch it. I know you don't want to watch TBT alone. I'll help you, puppy. I'll hold your hand.
I need someone to hold me, Poppy. There's too many men with gun. It's scary.
It's double the normal amount, and it looks a bit like mech. There's a lot of there's a lot of tanks. It's scary.
Yeah. They try to say they're not playing mech, but they are.
They can't trick you, lad.
I can see those tanks. I can see them. They think I can't. I'm wearing glasses, mate.
Man, there's two factories. Nothing can past you.
True, mate. True. That's mech. As we do see Starlight Twinkle fielding their A team here. We have Spirit, we have ReWhite, and we have Cham as well. I know you weren't casting last night, but Starlight Twinkle actually against Team Basilisk, because it was a match that didn't matter too much, they actually had Spirit and Cham rest for the day because, of course, you know, what are you going to do against Cyril and Reynolds?
Yeah.
So they had them rest for a day, and now they're back here for a different series, a series where, you know, they have a decent chance at winning.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be seeing that roster: Spirit, ReWhite, Cham. ReWhite, a player that definitely impressed a lot in the upper bracket in their matches against Berserker, as well as I didn't play against StarCraft. Yeah, it was against Berserker. It was against Spats. He looked quite good as well, and in the lower bracket, it was looking quite strong as well. So yeah, it's going to be cool to see more of ReWhite. I'm excited to see Mondo.
Yeah. We were able to cast Mondo earlier today, and Mondo is a bit of a rising star in the Korean scene. We've been casting him for a while now. I mean, we saw him in the show match against Dolan, for example, and what's impressive is that he has been improving quite steadily over the past couple of weeks, so it's been cool to see his rise here to fame. Earlier this morning, he did take down Nice, and even against Classic, he didn't look too bad. Game 1 was rough, I'll be honest, but Game 2 was pretty damn close. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how Mondo can compare to someone of the caliber of Cham.
Yeah, definitely. Cham is a pretty tough test, especially in ZVZ. He's been taking out the likes of, I believe last season in WTL, he took out DRG, and he's been taking out Scarlet a few times as well, which is, you know, with the LATAM NA merge of DreamHack looming, something to keep in mind as well. Something a little bit scary for Scarlet potentially. Sure, she's been working on her ZBZ a lot since then.
I'm sure she has. In preparation of the LATAM invasion into the Americas, I'm sure she is preparing herself for that. But of course, before we get to the ZVZs, which I know you're looking forward to, always, Poppy, always.
I like a Cham ZVZ.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. We are going to be kicking things off with Spirit versus Cure, and Cure has been on fire recently. He's been getting some really, really good results.
Yeah, this is a really interesting thing that's kind of a bit of a phenomena we've noticed at the end of IEM Katowice, where some of these top players kind of let their foot off the gas a little bit, had a bit of a break over the course of Katowice, and it feels like in the last week especially, a lot of these players have been really picking it back up and looking very strong. Players like Maru, Hero, Cure, Beyond even. I have kind of noticed that it's almost like a switch is flicked and they're really playing at this top level again.
Yeah, it's really cool to see, especially because, as you were kind of alluding to, there was some doom and gloom after Katowice. There was a little bit of ill-fated news, but in the top left-hand corner, in Dragon Scales, we have Spirit.
And in the bottom right-hand corner here, we have for ABYDOS, Cure.
Here we go, mate. Here we go. The TBT is upon us. As a reminder, this is the second series of the night. We already wrapped up the final team to make it into Codes, and that was, of course, Invictus Gaming. Ooh, in a relatively close series overall, where they were able to take it though in the end. But now this is all about the money, the pride, the seeding, puppy.
The money.
Yeah.
The money's
but it's pretty good. Pretty good. Not gonna lie. Oh god, and for the time being, we do see both players. Oh, sorry, my mistake. We do see Cure going for a Rax Expand. Spirit, though, is gonna be switching things up.
He is. So looks like we are going to be playing a bit more of the standard style for Spirit. Cure's going to be the one being a bit more adventurous here, and I mean, this is a map that it's a little bit more risky to do on as well. So Cure taking a little bit of a risk here. It will be paying off, at least for now.
Oh, yeah, we'll be paying off for the time being to go for something a little bit more economic. I'm personally a little bit surprised. I mean, to be fair, I know that Spirit has it in him to be a little bit more aggressive, and I'm sure he feels the pressure on him because of the momentous mountain he has to climb against his opponents. Like, the Cure is definitely the favorite coming into this, so interesting to see Spirit kind of go against his mantra of being the more greedy economic player.
Yeah, definitely. Just going to be maybe just feeling out Cure as well, showing him a lot of respect as well. I mean, Cure's definitely a player that I feel like for a lot of these top players, they can play all sorts of different styles and all sorts of different builds, and that's what lets them mix it up between these very greedy builds or very aggressive builds. Is you can't really predict what they're going to be doing, as they're so strong in all different styles.
Yeah, just like Maru Cure, he's willing to be aggressive. He's willing to even proxy in TBTs. We've seen that before. We will see it again in the future, I'm sure. So, yeah, they can be quite unpredictable, especially the Koreans. But for the time being, again, Cure is just kind of chilling back at home. He's got the bunker on the way as well to make sure that his expansion is safe and sound. A very economic defensive play out of here.
Yeah, indeed. And it's going to be going for that early reactor like we saw in the Battle B series. And it's kind of going to be on Spirit as well to, as we were saying before with that series, get very aggressive and do some damage, or just go for an extremely early third and try to get ahead that way.
Yeah, he's got some options available. He does have these options. Oh, as he's going to be opening up, we have a couple of Marines on the way, the first Hellion as well, just to get some map control, just to scout, I imagine, as well, with his initial units, just waiting to receive what comes his way. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy here in the beginnings of the series.
Yeah, no medevacs, so not going to be going for any tank drop or anything like that.
Yeah, and at least not from the side of Spirit, but Cure is going to be prioritizing his own medevac.
Mate. Smoj, he's skill checking.
We'll see if Spirit is up to the task, mate, as Cure is going to be sending it across the map. We're going to have the Marines, we're going to have the Hellions, we're going to have a Reaper as well. I mean, Spirit seems pretty well set up for this. Like, he's got a Cyclone popping out. He's going to have a Raven defensively as well.
He's going to be sending everything across the map.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Let's go. I headed towards the right-hand side, towards the natural base, as we do pass over those lovely logos. We were talking about it earlier. They're playing for the money. They're playing for that Rio plane ticket, papi.
Not legally binding, as we do have Cure going to be dipping onto the natural here, and it looks like Spirit may be misreading this a little bit. Was looking to set up at the main, but he is in position here as well, so Cure, he gets a little bit of scouting this way. He's, acting threatening as well, keeping Spirit at home, maybe preventing him from throwing down an early base, just because he's, forcing units by doing this as well.
Definitely. Meanwhile, Spirit did move out with his Cyclone to try and catch the medevac. Unfortunately, he didn't miss it. The medevac does make it back home safe and sound. And you were kind of talking about this earlier. Because we went for an early medevac like this is going to eat into the Raven timing of Cure and the amount of Ravens he will be having as well. He is, of course, working on them now. But that investment into the medevac hasn't really paid off yet. But at least it's arrived.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be too bad as long as it survives. And he does have that faster base coming up. Behind this, Spirit throwing down some pretty early Raxes. So I think we are going to be seeing a pretty aggressive medevac-based style coming out from Spirit. And this is something that I feel like I don't see it as often from him.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how he spreads his wings here against Cure and switches things up. We see Cure, well, both players really going for their third CCs. Cure throwing down both of his E-base as well to get into his upgrades. Spirit not too far behind either, but we see a little bit of multi-pronged aggression being set up here. Do have these cyclones in the middle of the map, and we do have that single drop towards the north.
Yeah, so Cure just continuing to be annoying, clearing up map vision, taking that map vision of his own with the Cyclones, keeping Spirit in the dark and keeping him worried as well about what might come next.
Exactly. It's all about that vision. It's all about the positioning as well. They kind of come hand in TVT. As we continue to get our production set up, we should be getting our third bases relatively soon as well. Spirit also kind of getting in position for that with his army.
Hey, both players going into this medevac style, they're going to be aping it up, and this is a really good map for that as well, just because all of the bases, they're so open. The main is huge. There's dead space everywhere. This can be a very difficult map to defend, crazy aggression on, and it leads to some pretty exciting games.
Yeah, definitely. And you love to see it, like neither player investing into those Vikings, as you were saying, instead medevacs coming out from both of them. And personally, that's the kind of TVT that I like, as you do see a drop trying to sneak into the main base, but the Cyclone was in position, and Spirit fends it off.
Does fend it off, but Cure, he's kind of gotten a lot of scouting done with this drop, which is, kind of a weird thing to come out of that, but as long as he keeps it alive, I think it's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be bringing it back home to repair, to top back up, so he can send it out once again. Meanwhile, we have a sensor tower on the way already by Spirit, so yeah, he's a little bit paranoid potentially about this map. You mentioned it earlier, but there are quite a lot of potential drop locations, a lot of angles of attack, so Spirit just making sure that he's safe at home.
Yeah, but there you go. Looks like Spirit actually going for a little bit of a move out here. Both players going for the move out at the same time. Cure leaving most of his tanks at home. So he will just be looking for a bit more low commitment, just to poke around, see what he can get. And this almost forcing Spirit into attacking.
Yeah, we see Spirit trying to chase him down, but Cure does turn around at the right moment, just take out a couple of those units, takes a Dorito cannon to the face, but Cure doesn't have to commit. He can get the hell out of here. He can always pick up and boost away as well, and there aren't really any kind of major ways to shut that down as Cure does back off.
Yeah, both players vying pretty hard here for that map control. Obviously, Cure can't really fully commit to the fight. His tanks are pretty scary, but he is, cleaning up all of the vision of Spirit. Is taking a lot of his time as well, just having to constantly react to this. And yeah, this is another really good fight for Cure, I believe. He's just trading so well.
Yeah, the Marines do trade with each other. 1-1 had finished off for both of those players, but we do see Spirit actually going to be moving out across the map with another drop. At the same time, though, we have some disables. We have a big Dorito cannon once again on Spirit's army this time.
Yeah, Cure running straight on in there. Oh, and he takes out the medevac with the tanks in it. That's a huge pick-off, and Cure is just being so aggressive with the Marines and the medevacs, and Spirit's having a really hard time keeping up.
Yeah, the anti-armor whistle is here, but there's just not enough behind it. We see another disable on the tank in the back line as well, and Spirit's position is breaking.
Just like that. Spirit going to be going for a bit of a counterattack, but there's not really enough here. He just kind of drops off the tank to its doom there, and this one medevac with Marines not going to be able to do too much against the reinforcements of Cure as they pop out of the Raxes. And I mean, Cure's getting huge damage right now.
He really is. He takes out the third base. He defends against the drop in his main as well. And he's going to keep on pushing in towards the natural. He still has those Ravens. Doesn't really have too much energy, but he does get the disable off.
Yeah, disable goes down. Shot just straight on in there. GG is called. And wow, as you were saying, Cure looking so strong right now.
Ooh, yeah, he is so in form post Katowice. He's been getting a lot of really good results, and even here, just looking dominant against Spirit. Does take that first game. Wow, in a pretty convincing fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that mostly just came from the start with Cure getting away with going for that Rax expand and then Spirit getting his third pretty late, as well as that. I mean, not late normally, but late in comparison to Cure.
Mhm.
And Cure just had more stuff, and he was more aggressive with it. That was, yeah, pretty cleanly done.
Yeah, he was really confident in his play, especially in that moment where they didn't kind of engage in the middle of the map. He just was so quick to throw down his spells from his Ravens and just chase Spirit down. Yeah, it was kind of scary what Cure was capable of there. So a very solid game number 1, but we'll see how this all does turn out. Spirit is going to have a chance to bring it back here. He's going to have a chance at a map pick.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen Spirit do much cheesy stuff? I feel like that's not really him, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you gotta find a bit of a different approach here.
Have I ever seen Spirit proxy Rax?
I don't think so, right? Not in TVT.
Yeah.
As, yeah, he's gonna be picking out Grassband as the next map, so this is a very exciting dynamic map, especially for TVT. It opens up a lot of possibilities for some cheeky drop-based play as well. I have seen some players going for very early Doom drops on this map as their strategy. That could definitely be something we see out of Spirit. I want to see a CC first. I don't care.
I do as well.
I don't think it's the thing in TVT, but I don't care.
I was about to say that, when I think of Spirit, I think of greed, I think of economy, I think of a man with no fear, and that's not what I saw in game 1. In game 1, I didn't see this. He was a husk of his old self. Okay, he was a shell of a human being. All right, he was a spirit, if you will, which I understand that's his name, but I still want.
It was Protoss that did that to him.
True. Smurge, Poppy Smurge. But yeah, I want him to do what he does best, and even though he may be the underdog in this series, I want him to whip it out. And in the top left-hand corner, whipping it out, we have Spirit.
And in the bottom right-hand corner here for ABYDOS, it is Cure.
Here we go. Unfortunately, not a CC first, but mate, speaking of CC first, I know it's a little bit off topic, but game 2 against Go Joey. I know it was a short game. It didn't go too well, but I was so proud of you. I was like, let's go, Poppy, let's go.
Okay, so my thoughts were I was thinking maybe I gained some respect from that first game and he isn't gonna open up with a cheese again.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was thinking to go for CC first. And yeah. When he rocked up there, I was like, okay.
Yeah, to be fair, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Go Joey did go hatch gas pool that game. To be fair, he didn't have a giga fast pool or a way to punish you, but yeah, I loved it because it was this is the mentality of a player, mate. Let's go. You're taking the risk. I loved it.
Yeah.
There was logic.
I was really happy with that first game. I feel like that went quite well. Definitely proud of that one.
100%, mate. 100%. For those of you in the chats who maybe weren't watching Grand Platypus Open yesterday, then do check out the VODs, especially of Asher versus Go Joey. Some solid gameplay out there. As we're getting into this game, and for the time being, we're looking to see some mirrored builds.
Yeah. Both players going to be going for that double gas opening here, so playing a little bit more safe. Cure not going to try to get away with murder again. Behind this, Spirit going for the extra Reapers, Cure going for the faster reactor. The 5 Reaper 3 Hellion build is something that I've been seeing less often, but it was kind of Cure's build to begin with. It was something that he popularized and that he was using a lot to great effect. So I kind of want to see it from him here again.
Yeah, I think it would be a good way to potentially close out this series, to go for something that's a little bit old-fashioned, but something very akin to him as well, as we do have those Reapers and Hellions coming out, and we'll see how Spirit can prepare against it. Back at home, we see that Cyclone on the way, so he will have quite a bit of firepower back at home.
Yeah, very defensive opening here from Spirit. Probably going to be going for a second Cyclone here as well. We'll have a few Marines coming out as well as that. So, yeah, it's Probably going to come down to the micro if Cure does continue to make Reapers, but no, just going to be a standard opening.
And there we go. He doesn't overcommit to the Reaper Hellion production, just makes his 3 Reapers, 2 Hellions, is going to be moving out for some map control. Once he does encounter those Cyclones, I'm sure he will respect it and back off. So yeah, we'll see if he can get anything done with this control.
Yeah, looks like he's just going to come and poke, but I think when he sees that Cyclone, he should just get out of there probably.
Oh, he wants to trade a little bit. He will get 1 Reaper, but he loses a Hellion.
Yeah, trade the Reaper for a Hellion. Fine, really. We'll get pushed back. Scouts the Cyclone, of course. Q going to be going for a medevac here with the Cyclone. Okay, so Q wants to get aggressive again.
Yeah, he's doing it again, Poppy. And to be fair, even in that first game, even though the initial drop didn't really do much damage, he kept it alive. He was very, he was very caring of his units. He didn't throw anything away. Didn't necessarily throw away any kind of lead either.
Yeah, and I feel like TVT, sometimes it's a bit of a mental battle. Sometimes just knowing that your opponent is flying around with drops, trying to get on in there, and just how much damage they can do so quickly can force you to play a bit more of a defensive game and give the other player a bit more room to breathe.
Definitely. But in saying that, Kira still has to be very careful because there are 2 Cyclones in the main base of Spirit, so he has to be very careful with how he uses this medevac boost and where he does go. Spirit, likewise, doesn't have anything here to scout, but again, he is prepared in his main for anything to come his way.
Don't be crazy, Cure.
Oh.
Relax.
He's getting ready, Poppy. Here we go. He's going to be distracting his opponent here at the natural base. He's going to take down that Marine, hopefully forcing a reaction out of Spirit.
Yeah, just going to be taking out a bit of that map vision, being a little bit cheeky. And yeah, as you were saying, that brings the 2 Cyclones down.
Oh, I was a little bit concerned about that. The Cyclones do move down. They are no longer in the main, and this is going to create an opening here for Cure if he so wishes. I'm sure he just wants confirmation of where those Cyclones are, and he will find them.
Mate, Cure can take credit from you for that move. You worked it out.
And he just dives on it anyway. I don't know if this is the best trade, but he gets both Cyclones, and he goes in.
Nice, takes out both Cyclones. That gives him the confirmation to jump into the main. He's going to be completely denying all mining here. That tank actually pops out at a really convenient time.
Oh, it does pop out just in time to defend. Nice solid repair as well is going to keep it alive. But despite that, still did lose both Cyclones. Still did lose those 3 SCVs as well.
Yeah, I believe he kept the medevac alive as well, did Cure. And he should be able to get that out of there since there's no Cyclones. And all in all, I would say things would be really even, except that he denied so much mining and that he's getting his 3rd on location.
Exactly. 3rd base is being taken. At the same time, it looks like Cure has gotten into the main base as well with the leftover Reapers that he has. I don't think he's going to get too much damage. Just scouting, getting an eye on the timing of the 3rd CC of his opponent does confirm that it is on the way in the main.
It is, and he's going to be going for a Viking style this time, so we're going to be seeing a bit of a clash in the styles of the 2 players. It has been really nice to see variety in TBT. That's what the Raven change was meant to do, and it actually has done it, which is, always happy to see that. As, I think Spirit is going to be going for more of a drop-based kind of play, and Q is going to be looking to be the Viking player this time.
Yeah. So we do have a bit of a shift in dynamic here, and we'll see how that turns out. Before that happens, though, Cure is going to be slipping into the main base. He does have 2 of these Ravens. Does have a lot of energy as well, going for that auto turret harass.
Yeah, just continuing to add on woes here for Spirit. He's already denied a lot of that mining in the main, and he's only going to continue to do so, and this is a really annoying spot for the turret as well. It takes out a few of those builders. Oh, and he jumps back in and denies the mining again. He's being so annoying here. And for Spirit, he kind of has a window here where the Ravens don't have energy, where he might want to go for a push.
He doesn't stop, Poppy, and yeah, here we go. Spirit is sending his army across the map. As you said, we're not going to have any disable energy remaining here for Cure, so maybe this is going to be a blessing in disguise as he goes for another auto turret into the main base. Oh my god!
He's crazy, and it looks like Spirit, he just pulls the workers. He says, I've had enough of this. I'm taking that turret down one way or another. 10 workers have gone down. Cure set up extremely well with the tanks over here. Oh, he's going to be jumping on them as well. No, he thinks better of it, but forces turrets, and the Vikings are waiting for these.
The Vikings are waiting. Yeah, the drop is going to be dropped anyway, so he doesn't commit to going to the main base, but Spirit is going to be stopped in his tracks.
Yeah, Cure is looking bulletproof here. Really nice command of this game.
Oh boy, it really is. But here we go. The Ravens are coming on in. We do see 3 disables. Boys are being pulled. The Marines are rushing on forward. They do take some tank shots to the face, but they're going to be able to take down the tanks.
Yeah, great SEV pull. Really quick reactions to jump on that. He's going to be losing quite a few of them, but he cleans up all the tanks.
God.
The Ravens just continuing to be annoying in the main here. Look how battered and bruised all those SEVs are. This is where it gets really awkward. One more turret, and that could be 5, 6 SEVs going down if he targets them.
Yeah, and you know what, Cure, he is one to target them. He's he has the control for that. It looks like some of the Ravens are going to be meeting up with the army, and Cure, his tank count is insane. As Spirit just threw away 3 of his own tanks, Cure is moving on out to try and now turn the tables on Spirit.
Yeah, Cure preserving all of his units here. We'll be charging on in. Oh, a little bit of miscontrol there actually by Cure.
Yeah, he will lose 3 of his tanks immediately, and he's going to be caught unsieged.
Oh, good killer instinct by Spirit. Takes out a lot of those. Unfortunately, miscontrol from him as well. Misses that pick up there, so we'll be losing a few extra Marines, but takes out the tanks, evens up the score a little bit. This is just that crazy back and forth action that we come to expect on Grassbound.
Yeah, exactly. And thankfully, Spirit, he is not going to take this lying down. He does fight back, does take down some of those tanks, and he's going to have a pretty solid defensive position here at his third base, and now he has the freedom to go for his own drop.
Yeah, that drop is heading out straight across the map here. I believe those Vikings are still in place in the main, so he's going to have to find a different angle. But Cure sniffed this out. He jumps out. Very quick reactions from Spirit to boost that away. Should be using the terrain to his own advantage as well, just to make sure that those escape. But, ooh, sticky.
Yeah. Oh my god. I mean, the drop is going to be able to slip and, just edge on out across that. But the Vikings are here.
Oh, he finds it.
Does find it. He's gonna shut it down. Oh my god.
Oh, that's so brutal. Look at the supply plummet.
This time
the recap kind of broke.
Yeah. This time the soup does not lie, and here we go. Cure is sending everything across them. He knows he has a massive advantage. The tank positioning is still quite good here for Spirit, so it's going to be difficult to push up this ramp, but Cure is going for it.
Nice little Marine run by, but there we go. Curie's going to be diving straight up into the ramp. There is just not enough here to protect the tanks. GG is called. Cure takes the 2-0.
Oh, GG, well played. Cure does take a Spirit. Looking pretty good here in the second game, to be fair. He was holding his own for some time, but Cure is still on another level. He is still on fire. Still one of the best Terrans in the world.
Yeah, certainly. Showing that he is, really stepping it up as we start to get into this tournament season. And yeah, he doesn't want to be discounted as well when it comes to those very top of the top Terrans. He is not messing about.
And he is like, guys, there's more than just Beyond Clem and Mario. There's me too. And you know what? I'm sure Q will be able to show off here in the next, or in Codes. But now we're getting ready for our PvP.
I was going to mention another player in the vein of that. Bunny, of course. He's been kind of forgotten. Bunny got picked up by Mystery Gaming. He's on a team, puppy. Yeah, I just saw it.
Oh, I didn't see that. Thank God.
Yeah.
Let's go. Today I was actually talking about Bunny. I was saying how worried I was that he was going to retire because we just haven't seen him play in anything and he wasn't in a team. Really interesting that Mystery Gaming picked him up, because Mystery Gaming isn't in WTL anymore. They got knocked out. So it's really cool. I know a lot of these teams were constructed just to participate in WTL, and they're disbanding, like, if they don't make it in. But even though Mystery Gaming didn't make it in, they're still, like, supporting their players, which is really sick.
They did drop nice, which is smudge. Or he left.
True, yeah. But they have Bunny.
I care more about Terrans than Protoss players anyway.
Whoa! Whoa!
As Protoss players dumped them out onto the street, let them starve.
Shaking my head, mate.
Let them cook.
Oh. But yeah, it's really, really nice to hear that Bunny did get picked up. And, Nice is a good enough player where I'm sure he will get some support, especially because when it comes to even the new EPT region, Nice is one of the best players available there. So I'm sure he will still continue to find success.
Yeah, even with the China OCE merge into that region, I could see Nice winning. I mean, Nice is a world-class Protoss player. So definitely hoping to see him, jump onto a new team soon as well.
100%, man. 100%. He is deserving to be on a team, and some of these WTL teams may look to bolster their roster and pick him up. That may be why he left. I'm not saying that's why he left, but it's a possibility that maybe he saw a team with more WTL opportunities and maybe went for it. Maybe.
I'm getting into WTL one way or another. I need to be with the waifus.
True. It makes sense, mate. Nice. He needs to be with the waifus. ABYDOS nice confirmed. Is that gonna happen? I don't know.
It would be a bad fit.
Yeah, would be pretty good. Would be pretty damn good. But alas, speaking of waifus, we do have a waifu enjoyer before us here. Nightmare up against ReWhite. Nightmare, of course, a bit of a PvP specialist, I want to say. Like, he has been looking so damn good in this matchup. I was kind of echoing that last night as he did 2-0 maxed last night in WTL. Now he's here once again against a different Chinese Protoss.
Yeah, so we're going to be having a pretty exciting PvP come out here. ReWhite, I feel like he doesn't do anything really crazy in PvP.
Yeah, he's not the craziest of players. He has it in him to be aggressive, don't get us wrong, but there's nothing that really stands out, if I recall correctly. I could be mistaken. We have been casting a lot of StarCraft recently. A lot of it does blend together.
Yeah,
that's the downside of all the casts that we've been having. But certain things do stand out, and ReWhite is a very solid player. Can he cause an upset here? Can he fight back for his team in a PvP? I want to believe.
Yeah, I want to believe too. I mean, we do still have that ZVZ coming up. Anything can happen in ZVZ.
Oh,
I think anything can happen in PvP, but to a slightly lesser extent.
Well, I was about to say, I didn't even realize until now, but like, we have just nothing but mirrors. It's just one big mirror here for this Team League match.
And I mean, Cham coming up against Mondo, I feel like Cham definitely favored in that matchup. So it's possible that ReWhite only needs to get one game here and they could still get the ace match.
True. I 100% agree. I do think that ReWhite, one game, buddy. If I was like his coach, I'd be, Papi, one game.
We need you. We need you to do the Team GP maneuver. Do you understand what I'm asking you to do?
Have you seen the playbook? Do you understand the maneuver?
You want me to lose the first game?
Yes.
Do what you have to do.
To take one game. Play like a madman. Do the most greediest thing you can do here in game one, or maybe the most standard thing you can do. Get him off your scent, Papi. Get him off. Put on the car air freshener. He won't know what you smell like. It'll be crazy. Crazy game two.
Car air freshener.
Yeah, Tomas the cheese. Tomas the cheese in game two.
Ah.
Yeah.
Is that something you've done before? It's very specific.
I've never owned a car air freshener.
Okay.
It just came to mind for some reason. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't own a car. I don't. Why do I have car air fresheners? That's a good question.
When you get hungry.
Do they taste good?
I don't know. You tell me. Which one would you eat though? Would you eat the pine fresh, or would you go for like strawberry or like raspberry or something?
I feel like
artificial raspberry is kind of nasty.
I don't think I've had artificial raspberry before, but when I think of car air freshener, I do think of pine, right? You think of like the green tree, right? Like the triangle. Yeah. That's pine, right?
You'd eat one of them.
Yeah. If I had to, yeah, 100%. You just gotta know. What does pine taste like?
I don't think of it. That doesn't seem like... Yeah. I think there's a reason that we don't have pine-flavored foods. Sounds terrible.
You can make am I crazy? You can make like jelly out of like pine cones, right? Am I crazy?
Pine cones?
Yeah, like you can do some stuff with that, right?
No way. It's just like solid bark. I don't think there's anything inside pine cones, is there?
Yeah, I'm looking at this pine cone jam. Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah.
Crazy.
How do they do it? I don't know, but it is a thing. It is a thing.
That's wild.
Asher, do you want me to pour some pine cone jam on you?
I'll try anything once.
Oh, you'll smell amazing, Buffy. You'll smell amazing.
Yeah, the problem with those air fresheners as well is they just smell like a toilet. In the bottom left-hand corner of the ancient toilet, it is Nightmare.
On top right-hand corner, the Chinese ABYDOS ReWhite. Oh boy, all right, here we go. Getting into the PvP that we have all been waiting for. Getting off the jam. We're done with it, Poppy, we're done.
I'm thinking of Space Jam, but I couldn't think of a way to make it relevant.
Have you seen the new Space Jam?
No, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it. I barely watch anything as it is. I can't waste that on subpar Space Jam. I would honestly, I think I'd rather just watch the old one again.
Yeah. You know what? We have had this conversation before, and now I'm just thinking of Magic Mike. Because that's where that conversation
Magic Mike Johnson. Oh, speaking of magic, you can see some magic if you go to the Rio in Vegas.
Oh, let's go, Rio, TGI Fridays, and Doyu. Massive shout out to the lovely sponsors. Look forward to those ads, by the way, in code S, because they were some of the highlights of the night for me.
They actually were. I'd still be on break, and you'd be like, look at this. It's the cats. They're playing piano.
Wait,
Hojo, let's go. It's just the same ad every time where it's just, we don't know what it is at all.
Yeah.
It's just some screens with some like Chinese writing that you can't read. It's like, let's go, Hojo, yeah.
It's pretty hype, man. It's pretty hype. And unfortunately, no Hojo this season. That was the biggest disappointment for me out of all of WTL is that there's no Hojo. But I'm sure we'll have a worthy replacement as ReWhite is going for a Robo Opener. Oh my god.
Yeah, ReWhite throwing down that Robo straight away. So it looks like he might be going, if he does go for more Stalkers here, for a 3-gate Robo all-in.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case here to go for that Prism and zoom across the map. Meanwhile, ReWhite even doing whatever he can to try and delay the Nexus of Nightmare as well, as Nightmare is going for a Twilight Council opening.
There we go. Third gate goes down. It's almost like this is the only PvP build I know. As, Nightmare going to be throwing down that Twilight, putting his probe in a bit of a spot where looks like he might try to dip in between the units and see if a Nexus is being built. If he does spot that out and see that it's one base, or I say that, but I think he's proxying.
I was going to say, mate, it's one base versus one base.
Okay.
Both players skipped their Nexuses. We have a Robo from one. We have a Twilight Council from another. Nightmare should be throwing down his own third gateway. There we go. So we are even in production capability, but ReWhite's gateways are a little bit faster, and his Prism is going to hit faster than the blink of Nightmare.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure what happens here is if ReWhite works this out fast enough to make Immortals, he crushes this. But if he doesn't, when Blink finishes, the Stalkers just trade way better.
Yeah, they really will. But before that happens, we do see Nightmare losing a little bit more. He does get eyes on the Prism itself. So Nightmare is now aware of the build from ReWhite, and he can prepare himself. There we go. 2 shield batteries are on the way back at home. And ReWhite has to be careful because once Blink kicks in, like there is even potential for a Nightmare to dive on top of the Prism.
Yeah. Interestingly, ReWhite going for an Observer behind this. He's going to continue to put pressure at the front here, but this is kind of an interesting matchup of the builds. It feels like they both really cancel each other out.
It really does feel that way, and I don't blame the observer just because he doesn't know what he's playing against. He wasn't able to scout the tech itself. He knows that it's one base, but what exactly is it going to be? He is trying to force himself up this ramp, trying to focus on that pylon.
Yeah, Pylon in a little bit of danger here. Really good Warp Prism micro coming out from ReWhite. Wow.
Yeah, very nicely done, playing as if he has Blink, essentially. Meanwhile, Blink is still on the horizon, but it's going to finish up in 10 seconds here for Nightmare, and we do not see an Immortal on the way.
Yeah, no Immortal on the way. Blink finishing up. That shield battery, of course, is still there. I don't think it's in range for an overcharge, so he does have that going for him. Wow, fantastic micro from ReWhite.
Oh, but here we go. There's that dive we were talking about. He goes for the Prism, but he doesn't get it in the end, but it may not matter. He may have too much. The Prism goes down.
Wow, really nice studded focus fire as well from Nightmare. Takes out all of those low health stalkers with that split focus fire. Takes out the Prism as well, and that was perfectly timed with that blink. Doesn't allow ReWhite to heal those wounded stalkers back up, and that might just be it. So really nice patience from Nightmare. Beautifully executed too.
Yeah, look at the efficiency. Oh my god. Nightmare lost 7 Stalkers to the 14 of ReWhite. And Nightmare has so much momentum going his way. There's nothing really much at home at all to defend. We can get maybe a couple of warp-ins. The Immortal is on the way, but again, this needed to be started earlier. This is too late.
Yeah, Nightmare going to be running straight up here. Looks like there's no shield battery here. Probes aren't going to be pulled. Nothing like that. And with that, Nightmare should just be waltzing along to victory here.
Yeah, well, the Immortal is going to get surrounded. It's going to go down. GG gets called, and Nightmare will take game number 1.
GG. And with that, ABYDOS has 3 match points.
There we go. ABYDOS, they need one more game here to take the series. But if ReWhite was listening, the Team GP maneuver, papi.
Yeah. We've started.
Yeah, we kind of already messed it up a little bit because we have lost the first game, but we were hyper aggressive. We went for a 1-base all-in, which means Nightmare is going to be on notice. The alluring of the false sense of security isn't quite there, so we'll see if Nightmare has something special in store on Dragon Scales.
Okay, so Dragon Scale's going to be the pick from ReWhite. I wonder why. I feel like this is a map that I don't know if I've actually seen PvP on this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a map that has a ramp leading up to the natural, so we're going to be seeing some economic openers. Maybe that's what he's hoping for. Maybe he's hoping that Nightmare goes for a gate expand, and ReWhite is going to commit to one big all-in. It's a bit of a risk, but maybe that's what he's trying to bait Nightmare into. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's crazy.
I think the we know about that. We have confirmation of how crazy of the fact that he is crazy, but how crazy is he? That's the question.
What would you do if you were a Protoss in PvP? Would you play like more of a macro game? Would you be, complaining about these Protoss clowns on the ladder? They never let me play StarCraft. Or would you go full clown? Like, would you, if you dipped your toes in the clown, would you just go full clown? What kind of Protoss would you be?
I think I'd be pretty standard, to be honest. I'd probably go like, I don't know.
You'd rush for disruptors.
No, that's nonsense.
You'd play normal, but then you'd have like 12 disruptors.
Yeah, let's go, Bobby. Let's go. No, yeah, I do think I'd probably play like that. As in, like, I'd open up standard with Link. We'd get our third base, and then we'd just go for the disruptors, Bobby. We go for it. Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this alternate reality light where you're just like, you know why I'm not wearing pants?
No!
Whoa! They have to be free.
Well, that would be the meme on my Twitch channel if I was streaming it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you're a Protoss player.
Yeah. I still wouldn't be able to pull that. And spotting in the bottom right hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have Nightmare.
And in the top left-hand corner of the map, for Starlight Twinkle, it is ReWhite.
Here we go. We were talking about some of the features of the map, and we see it come to full fruition as Nightmare is looking to go for that gate expand. ReWhite looking to do the same.
When you say fruition, it reminds me of The Italians I used to work with, instead of saying fruit, they would say fruit.
Fruit. Fruit.
Fruit.
Oh.
Grab that fruit.
What'd you do? What'd you do at the place you worked at? Were you
Oh, I
were
was
you a
a
waiter?
waiter. Yeah, I was a waiter.
Yeah.
We had to
Oh,
we had to speak a little bit of Italian as well. That's
yeah,
why
I
could
told
speak a
Mr.
little bit,
Worldwide.
yeah.
That's why I see you're Italian.
Well, that's how I learned all this. That's how I learned Portuguese swearing as well, because I worked with a Brazilian girl, and she told me porra and caralho. One day I learned what porra was, and I was like telling her that I learned this new word, and she's like, I say that constantly. How have you not noticed? Just be walking around saying it under her breath, and then I noticed it afterwards. I'm like, wow. It's just kind of like, it's like embellishment. It's almost like punctuation.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful, puppy, beautiful. You know, learn a lot of important life lessons there. You know, it's just
Yeah.
the most important words. It's beautiful.
How to mildly upset someone in every culture.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
we do have this little dance coming out. Both players going to be committing to the Zealot. Both players try to be a little bit annoying, go for the block. We're not going to be seeing any pylon blocks or anything like that. I still haven't gotten around to watching the Goblin video on gate expanding, so I don't know why the players are always on the same page with whether they're going to block or not. I still don't understand. It seems like when one player goes for pylon block, the other player is like also doing that.
Yeah.
When one player goes for cybercore, the other player is doing that. And it doesn't even seem reactive. I feel like they just agree before the game.
I'm telling you, mate, they're Tokyo drifting. They're family.
Such a deep cut. I love how you say that now as if everyone knows exactly what you mean.
It's been a while since we've referenced Dom and Fast and Furious. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while since we casted a match entirely in incorrect movie analogies.
My brain is just going 100 miles a second right now.
Yeah. Don't let any of it out. Just keep it all in there. Like, as we do see it, Nightmare going to be committing to the early Stargate and the Oracle. This is what we're kind of used to seeing when it comes to these one gate expand mirrors. ReWhite actually doing things a little bit differently, going for the Twilight Council. This is, I feel like, definitely a lot more unusual. I'm used to seeing 2 oracles from each player, or an oracle and a phoenix trying to catch out the oracle. Not so much is Twilight style, and I feel like it's a little bit less robust.
It really is. There's so much flexibility here with this initial oracle opening. Meanwhile, we do see Nightmare knocking down the front door. There is no shield battery. At the same time, no shield battery in the main either, as 4 probes go down, and the oracle does get sniped.
Yeah, the Oracle goes down for only 4 probes. Not the best trade here, as we do see Nightmare going to be committing as well into that shield battery overcharge. That's not going to work out too well for him, and this could be a little bit of momentum that ReWhite needs.
Yeah, he does have a lead in the overall tech. He has a lead in the blink. Losing an Oracle for 4 probes was disastrous, but you know what? We have a second Oracle making a beeline for the main base, and I believe the shield battery is still on the way in the main. Not even in the main. Oh my god.
On the main.
On the main.
Wait, where is it?
It's at the natural.
Yeah, good damage again from the Oracle. Once again, in a bit of trouble too.
Yeah, it gets 5 more probes. This time the Oracle will manage to escape, so 9 probes in total for 1 Oracle is now some good damage from Nightmare. He has that worker lead. He's trying to get into Blink as quickly as possible. For the time being, ReWhite will have the map control due to his upgrade, but Nightmare is more than happy to give it to him, as he's going to be chilling out more defensively instead.
Yeah, that he is, and he's getting up a few batteries as well, just preparing for the incoming attack from ReWhite. And I think the important thing to look out for now is going to be which player is able to get their third up first.
Ooh, but you know what? ReWhite doesn't want a third base because he throws down a proxy pylon and a gateway across the map. ReWhite wants to pile on the pressure and doesn't want to stop.
Yeah, ReWhite is going to be just going for it, trying to kill Nightmare right here, right now. Maybe taking advantage of the fact that he took out those 2 oracles as well, and that limits the scouting of Nightmare. But Nightmare, he's got plenty of stalkers. He's not going for an early third either, so he is reading this quite well.
He definitely is. It's all going to come down to the micro here. Would you have an overcharge for Nightmare? With that, he's going to be able to force this back, and ReWhite has been losing a couple too many stalkers.
Yeah, definitely a little bit sloppy here because he does, of course, need to snowball this.
He really does. Sensation, no!
Oh, no. Disaster.
With that, almost the entire army of ReWhite is stasis. We do see one Stalker across the map denying any kind of third base transition from ReWhite as well. It looks like he's setting up to take his third linearly instead. He's going to try and transition.
Yeah, he is going to try to transition out of this and can make advantage of his blink that he has a bit earlier. But yeah, Nightmare doing a really great job fending this off right now.
He really is, and now we see both players going for their third bases. We do see that that big blink advantage that ReWhite once had is no longer there. His Stalkers are still going to be dancing, and he does get eyes on the third base. Maybe he's doing a great job actually at focusing down Stalkers.
Yeah, okay, these winded Stalkers of Nightmare are going to be going down, but the thing that I am a little bit worried about is if ReWhite loses a lot of these Stalkers, I don't think there's going to be much left for him back at home, but meanwhile, we just see Nightmare trying to make use of this high ground. Still has the Oracle as well for a stasis trap, potentially.
Yeah, he definitely does. Meanwhile, here we go. The Stalkers are engaging once again, and ReWhite does end up coming out worse for wear after that. The blinks were looking quite solid initially, but ReWhite does lose a couple more Stalkers in the end.
Yeah, he does, and with that, a little bit of momentum on Nightmare's side. ReWhite going to respond to this by throwing down a DT Shrine. This can always be a good way to get yourself back into things, but Nightmare, as if on cue, getting his Robo, so he should be able to get an Observer out in time. It's just going to come down to whether ReWhite can, take a bit of a leaf out of Hero's book with what Hero's been doing lately and use single DTs to just harass all the different mineral lines, be super annoying, keep Nightmare back at home and stifled.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, even if Nightmare didn't have that Robo on the way, he already has an Oracle as well. He has Revelations available to him, so he has multiple forms of detection at his fingertips. But as you were saying, just because it's going to be detection doesn't mean that ReWhite can't find some damage with these DTs. Hero has proven that time and time again that you can still pull apart the attention of your opponent.
Yeah, and this single DT stuff is something that is coming into the meta in a very strong way, and we were talking about it before. It's going to be really exciting to see all the different players who are going to be picking it up, but here we go, we do have a bit more of a divergence. Extra gates coming down from Nightmare. He does have that Observer, he does have Charge on the way as well, and Charge is going to be a game-ending tech here for ReWhite. He is so far behind when it comes to anything that can deal well with Charge. I mean, Charge slots just mince up Stalkers with the right support.
They really do, and Charge is on the way. For the time being, they are slow lots. We do see those ETs being morphed in. Meanwhile, before that happens, Nightmare is diving on this army once again, taking down Stalker after Stalker, and Nightmare may not turn around.
Yeah, no mercy from Nightmare. He is just charging down ReWhite, trying to take out every single Stalker that he can. Supply swinging heavily in his favor right now.
Yeah, it really is. Those DTs have a lot of work to do, both offensively and defensively. We can see a couple of workers are going to be going down, but as that happens, Nightmare is pushing forward on this third base.
Yeah, he is charging on forward as Charge, in fact, is finishing. DT is going to be coming into the natural, causes a quick pull from Nightmare. Nightmare actually losing... Oh, wow, a lot of probes. Wow.
Oh my god. The DT in the natural did get cleaned up, but the DT in the main base has gone undisturbed, and he gets 20 probe kills.
Okay, this is exactly what ReWhite needed to get back in this game.
Oh, he's got a DT at the third as well. The DTs are all over the place, and Nightmare backs off. He turns around and goes back home.
Yeah, DT's a great equalizer, especially in PvP. Looks like that Revelation not going to run out in time for that DT, so it will be going down, but that is what ReWhite needed. He is now hugely ahead in the workers, and if he can get a fourth and stabilize behind this, he could definitely win this one.
He definitely could. ReWhite, he's got the economic advantage. He has the tech as well. He's working on Charge, so he doesn't have that quite yet, and that is going to be a dangerous proposition, but Nightmare, his economy isn't as amazing as it once was to actually make that many Zealots to support his army.
Yeah, definitely. So every moment that goes by is a moment where that's going to be punishing him, that lack of money that he has. And with that, I think he needs to attack now. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, he's moving on now. He has been spotted by ReWhite. ReWhite, all he has to do is hold. He needs more stack defense. He needs shield batteries. He needs cannons. He needs something to support his army as, the Stalkers are being caught out.
Yeah, Stalkers are being caught out, and this is before the Zealots can even jump on top of them. So ReWhite here is running for his life here. This fourth probably going to be going down as well, but I think Nightmare might even need a little bit more than that.
Oh my god, ReWhite even supply block for a moment there
Oh.
as well. Too many Stalkers are going to be going down as once again he's being chased down by the army of Nightmare.
Yeah, ReWhite was doing so well, but all these Stalkers getting caught out. I just don't know how he deals with this army of Nightmare anymore.
Yeah, I don't know how he does either. The DTs, they were denied entry into the natural. They head towards the third base to try to find some more damage. Probes are going down, as we can see on the kill counter there on the left-hand side, but the army, this Stalker army, is being chased down.
Yeah, the chase is on. Nightmare taking out nearly every single one of these Stalkers, using a huge amount of tension to do so, which does, make these Zealots a little bit more scary. But yeah, there we go. The Revelation goes down. The Zealots going to be chasing those down as well. So that should be the end of that little bit of harass there. And almost every single Stalker has gone down for ReWhite.
Yeah, exactly. And he just doesn't have too much here to work with. We do see some reinforcements coming on in, and ReWhite does have a standing army. He's also going to have an overcharge available if he needs it, and he will.
Yeah, pretty decent army, but here we go. The Zealots pour on in.
And they're pouring on in. Overcharge is popped. Nightmare forced to pull back for a moment, but he does have some shields helping him out. The sentries are being focused down, and Nightmare is being pushed back for the moment.
He is, but there we go. Shield battery overcharge does expire. We do have a couple DTs. Is there detection here? Okay, there is detection here. They're going to have to be morphed into Archons, but overall, actually a really solid defense by ReWhite. I just think there might be a little bit too much here for Nightmare.
Yeah, he's continuing to reinforce. The supplies are getting closer and closer. Nightmare, though, still has that advantage. He's trying to push himself up the ramp, though, so he's kind of splitting up his attention. ReWhite goes for an aggressive blink.
Yeah, ReWhite sensing that he needs to get this done now, right here, right now. The charge lots are going to be coming out, so he is pushing Nightmare back. And the same way that Nightmare was chasing down ReWhite now being the one to chase him down, and he has been pushed back. ReWhite actually holds. I was not expecting that.
He holds. I do think that maybe it was a mistake for Nightmare to divert his attention between the natural and the third base. We saw that earlier in the night. We saw it again here in the PvP. He wasn't able to focus on the main army, and as a result, he gets punished for it.
Yeah, he does, and ReWhite, he gets this other fourth up. Nightmare does scout it out now, but he's not really going to be able to do anything about it.
Yeah, Nightmare, he has run out of momentum here. His army was almost reset. Nightmare, it's his turn to go for the Dark Shrine.
Yeah, there we go. He is the one that needs to get back into it now, as ReWhite almost 40 supply up. I can't believe he's made his way back into this one. It's been such a back and forth game between the two players, and ReWhite just a little bit cleverer when it comes to these little moves like the DTs, when it comes to making these clutch defenses here.
Definitely. To be fair, we have a lot of sentries. We have force field potential as well, so Nightmare can still take a decent trade, an efficient trade, despite being lower in the army supply. Now he's the one with the shield batteries. Now he's the one with the overcharge.
Yeah, a little bit of a move command there by ReWhite trying to snipe out those sentries. He does have a few zealots over here to the side as well that he needs to keep safe, and I'm a little worried just because I'm not sure if he's seen that these DTs are on the way, and he is spread quite thin with the 4 linear bases.
And bearing in mind as well that ReWhite, I believe the robo that's on the way for him is the very first robo, which means there's no detection right now. The DTs they run past, did ReWhite even notice them?
I don't think so.
Uh-oh. There's a cannon on the way. Maybe
Okay, cannon on the way. Maybe he did, yeah, as you were saying. +2 on the way for him as well, so he does have a bit more of a long-term advantage that he can play towards. The cannon is in a good spot here, but a lot of probes going to be going down anyway.
Yeah, a lot of probes going down. Oh, no cannon at the third base! Mate, it's all about the DTs in PvP, apparently.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both of these players getting themselves back out of some really rough situations with the DTs. Oh, and this one doesn't quite get picked up. Okay, he does catch it with the cannon. He spots it himself as well. ReWhite has stabilized, and he's still really far ahead.
He is. He's still up a base. He's still up in workers. He's still up in so many aspects of this game. But Nightmare can still take a fight defensively. I want to say it's going to be close here, but if ReWhite does push into that third, Nightmare could take a fight.
Yeah, he absolutely could, especially with the shield batteries there. I think I wouldn't mind seeing him break down the rocks here before he goes for this, but no, he's just going to charge straight on in there. The force field's giving him a lot of trouble, but he'll be blinking straight on over there, actually cutting off his stalkers from the rest of the army here. I'm not sure if that blink was the wisest decision.
That blink, he cut himself in half there. That was not the best move from ReWhite. Overcharge putting in a lot of work as well, but the Zealots are doing such a phenomenal job tanking here for ReWhite.
Yeah, the overcharge was good, but it might not matter. Might just be a bit of a numbers game here. This is looking a little bit like the fight that Nightmare took over on the side of ReWhite, but the supply does not lie. ReWhite's still up there. The probes are going to have to be pulled. The blink micro are really solid, but with that Zealot reinforcement, I think ReWhite might have done it.
Yeah, he has barely done it. We saw Nightmare warping a couple of DTs desperately to turn the fight in his favor, but there is an observer. There is detection available for ReWhite. He's going to be breaking the third base. GG gets called, and ReWhite takes game number 2. He was listening. He did the Team GP maneuver, papi.
Yo, what a sick game between those players. That was great.
That was so scrappy, so back and forth. At one time, Nightmare was winning, and then it all went in favor of ReWhite as well. We saw that Nightmare almost brought it back. The DTs were doing quite well for him, but it just wasn't enough.
Hey, ReWhite does not give up.
He doesn't give up, and that means that this next game is going to be pretty damn important. Cham versus Mondo, a ZVZ. Cham, el champion of the Latin American scene. Mondo, still an up-and-coming player in South Korea. Has had some decent results recently, but how good is his ZVZ? That is the question.
Yeah, Cham is going to be the favorite here to take the 2-0, but that's still that's a pretty scary proposition, having to take the 2-0. There's a lot of pressure on him.
Oh yeah, a lot of pressure indeed. As Mondo is no slouch. We did cast him earlier in the day, and he did take down Nice 2-1 in that ZVP, but that was a bit of a different matchup. I do want to say that even though that Cham's the favorite, Mondo has a chance to take a game off of him. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mondo definitely a player who's been working very hard lately, so I would love to see that.
I would love to as well. Well, hopefully he's not too fatigued, because he has been playing a lot today. Since the early hours of the Sunday morning as well. So hopefully he's well rested. He's prepared for this ZVZ, as game 1 is going to be on Neo Humanity.
Yeah, okay. So ZVZ on Neo Humanity, definitely going to be a scrappy affair. We've seen players, taking that front base, getting that rich gas as we were talking before with the ZVP, and that's something that can springboard a really scary attack in ZVZ as well.
Ooh, it can be scary. It can be terrifying, as you were saying, because of the short rush distance. Roach pushes, Roach all wins. These +1 carapace timings can hit very hard on Neo Humanity. So this is going to get really intense, I feel, really quickly. Unlike some of the other matchups, even though this map can be really defensive for a lot of the other matchups, I don't think that really applies as much to ZVZ.
Yeah, you can't escape the Zergs, mate. It doesn't matter what map you're on.
Yeah.
They're still animals.
Yeah. Oh my god, exactly, mate, exactly. They're going to be at each other's throats, and that is what we want to see, to be honest. That is all we want to see. The players are just preparing themselves, preparing their bodies. As we mentioned earlier, Cham needs to take the 2-0 to force the ace match. ABYDOS need one game, and they take the series.
Like, when was the last time you played StarCraft? I feel like it's been a long time now. It's been years.
Oh, it's been years, papi. What do you mean? Did I have a ladder session like 2 days ago?
Yeah, years ago.
I didn't stream today, I guess.
You're a Diablo streamer now.
I played StarCraft on what? Saturday? Sunday? I streamed? Didn't get to stream Diablo. Mate.
You're probably pretty keen to get back into the Diablo, right?
I
feel like you're getting to the good bits.
Yeah. I really am. Like, I remember, I think we were in a call yesterday, right? And I wanted to play, but I looked at the time, and they were like, it was 2 hours until GPO. That's it. It was 2 hours.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I and have enough time to play. Like,
This is like when you're in school and you like pick up a new game and you're like, I can't wait for school to finish and get my homework done so I can play, I don't know, Pokemon. It was Morrowind for me. I wanted to play Morrowind.
played Morrowind. Was that on Xbox?
PC, I think. As we have a game. And spawning here in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, it is Mondo.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner from Mexico, it is Cham.
El Champion.
Yeah, I'm jealous of you, Papi, because I own Morrowind. I've played Morrowind, but like, I haven't played too much of it because I know that you have to invest so much time into it. Like,
Yeah. I
yeah.
don't think I ever played that much of it. I remember I picked up these boots that they give you maxed out move speed, and they're meant to make you go blind. But for some reason, I don't know if it's a bug or if it's part of the game. The first time I put them on, they didn't make me go blind. They only make you go blind if you take them off and then put them back on.
Oh.
So I worked that out and had a save in the right spot and just permanently had max move speed for like the rest of the game at like a really early point, which I don't know if it was meant to happen, but it was pretty funny.
Nice. There you go. There you go. Yeah, for me, like, I sunk in like 500 plus hours into Skyrim when that first came out.
Okay.
Like, I put in a lot into. I didn't even finish Skyrim. I didn't even finish it. And then afterwards, I got Morrowind and Oblivion, but I only put the tip in. You know, like I never like because I know I'm like, oh mate, if I did it with Skyrim, I'm gonna do it with this, and I just I can't do it.
I've probably put in like 100 hours between both. Like,
yeah.
Being a degen's pretty recent for me.
I still remember the good old days. For Skyrim, it was I would stay up and I would watch European StarCraft events into like the degen hours of the night while playing Skyrim.
Yeah. That sounds pretty nice. Yeah. No, I remember when 100 hours in one game was like a lot for me. I was like a little bit ashamed of how much time in a game that was.
Oh my god.
How things have changed. That's like a week of StarCraft now.
Oh my god. You do play a lot of StarCraft. But you know what? So do these two players here. And as we get into Neo Humanity, we do have some standard evidence from both players. Hatch gas pool all around. Everything is looking normal, but everything should be looking normal. It's the follow-up here that we're going to be keeping our eyes on. Is anyone going to be skipping the Bailey Nest, and is anyone getting a fast EV chamber for +1 carapace?
Yeah, there's no rich gas base for either player. Here we go. The Bailey Nest going to be coming down at a pretty normal time for both players as well. So they're going to be playing a very standard ZBZ so far.
Yeah, everything is standard. No one is skipping any crucial tech. We should be seeing some Ling Bane from both players, and I guess our next point of contention is if either one of these players tries to deny the other's third base with a wave of Lings. If not, we are going to transition into Roach versus Roach pretty seamlessly, so we'll see. As we're getting a couple of safety Lings from both sides, we'll see if either one commits.
Yeah, it's something that we've been seeing a fair bit in these best of twos. The players sometimes just use this first game to feel each other out, play something a bit more standard and safe, and then the gloves come off in the second game. Ooh. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see that. But yeah, Cham going to be going for his kind of tech. What's the word? His calling sign almost. I feel like early lair is just like a very Cham thing to do.
Yeah, this is a giga fast lair. This was like a 3-minute 40 lair timing, by the way. I believe the observer didn't see it, but I believe Mondo did send a scouting Ling in, and I believe it did make it into the main base. So Mondo should be aware, and Mondo's responding with that +1 carapace timing, by the way. +1 carapace is on the way, and this should lead into a Roach push with a Ling flood behind it.
Ooh, yeah, I've seen this one before. And I think this is a really good choice. I mean, Cham, he is definitely being a little bit greedy, going faster into tech here, and this could catch him off guard.
It really could. We do see all 4 gases being taken, but a Roach Warren as well, so Cham may just be looking to go into fast Roach speed, but he's also kind of setting himself up for a fast Spire if he wanted to, but I do think that this is a really, really risky map to go into a Spire. Oh my god, he's going for something else!
Oh, okay, a ABYDOS. Here we go.
Oh.
Let's go.
And this
Kill
is
each other, you
why,
crazy Zergs.
yeah, this is why we love Cham, Papi. It's crazy. He's going for both. He's going for roach speed and for a Nidus. And what this means is that if he goes for the Nidus, and if it does get denied, if it does get shut down, then he will have fast roaches anyway, and he can just rush across the map just because of how small this map is. Like, he can still commit to aggression. But so is Mondo.
Yeah, definitely. But here we go. Mondo is going to be looking to hit that timing with the +1 Carapace. He is heading out across the map. Might be looking to smash those rocks down before he gets going.
Yeah, he may be looking to do so as Banelings are on the way as well. Cham has been pretty lax with his scouting. He will have a lot of roaches to be fair, but they won't be anywhere near as high quality, and Cham was droning a little bit more, so his third base is looking quite vulnerable.
Yeah, and there we go. Mondo going to be jumping right on top of it. The roaches come out for Cham. The Banelings are here. They're not going to get that great targets here as this wall of units for Cham. Locking out the Banelings. Beautifully done. 5 drones go down, but the rest of the Banelings have been taken out.
Yeah, not the best use of those Banelings, to be honest. And now the mass roach of Cham is going to be able to overwhelm that of Mondo. Mondo trying to split his attention between the two bases, but he doesn't have enough. He's forced back.
Yeah, Cham's control just a bit better in that fight, and he's going to take the best of it.
Yeah, and because of roach speed, Mondo can't run away. He has to stand and fight. Otherwise, he will just be chased down, run down like a dog, and that's exactly what's happening. Every roach is going to get picked off.
Wow, really clean, powerful play coming out from Cham. The Lings as well going to be rallying to their deaths here, and okay, that's not great. I think those Lings were rallying in like that because might have had internet issues.
There may have been a bit of an issue, whether it's internet related, whether it is something else entirely. Hopefully, things will be able to clear up for this series regardless. Not a good start here for Mondo. He wanted to hit a timing. He cut workers as well to pull off this Roach Ling all in, and for it to fall in its face the way that it did. Cham is ready for a counterattack. He's ready to Nidus across the map and send his roaches and queens. Send everything, Bobby. Everything.
Yeah, Mondo looks pretty dead.
Yeah, not gonna lie. I'll be honest. I thought he GG'd when he.
Yeah, Sam. Yeah.
When he threw down the double P's. So Mondo, he's gonna have a bit of a tough time here once we do resume the game. It's not looking too good here, as there we go. It looks like the latency has cleared up.
All right, there we go. He's not going to be able to take back that moment there where he lost all of those Lings, but one thing he will be able to do is deny this Nidus. He is jumping on top of it, and that will be going down, but I mean, for Cham, his army's already here. This is just for the reinforcements. He is going to be able to escort that Nidus in there, and it looks like he's got enough to take this fight.
He does. We do see Mondo trying to dive on top of this location. He's got his queens to support, so he has a little bit more firepower, but here come the reinforcements from Cham. They flood out of the Nidus, and Cham is just going to have far too much.
Yeah, Cham smashes on through. GG is called, and Cham getting another one on the board for Starlight Twinkle. They are one step closer to the ace match.
They are one step closer. Very powerful, decisive game there from Cham. It was kind of a situation where both players they came into it with builds in mind. They executed them, and Cham did come out on top there with his own. Mondo, unfortunately, despite scouting the earlier lair, it's possible that, he didn't see the Nidus, so he didn't really know what the lair was being used for. I'm sure maybe he was hoping for a Spire or something a little bit more greedy out of Cham, in which case Mondo would have killed him.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't mind the decision at all there, but maybe getting a little bit unlucky that Cham was going for his own timing, and I feel like the control as well of Cham was just a little bit cleaner there, which is a little bit worrying coming into this next game for Mondo.
Yeah, you raise a good point. I feel like the turns tabled in favor of Cham when the Banelings went for the mineral line, right? And they didn't really do much just because Cham was so good at walling off and even splitting up his drones as well. That was a lot of Banelings. If those Banelings had maybe gone for the cluster of roaches instead to try and just overwhelm the roach army and get a lead that way, maybe that would have worked a little bit better. It's hard to say.
Yeah, indeed. But either way, we have Mondo able to pick out the next map here. So if he has something really cheeky in mind and he knows the best map for it, that might be what we're seeing. I'm thinking 13-12.
Oh,
I'm thinking 12-11. I haven't seen a 12-11 in a long time.
It's been a while since we've seen a good 12-11. My brain recalls it maybe a couple of months ago, but I could just be thinking of a ladder game. I could just be thinking of myself getting 12-11.
Merge. Wow, this guy won with the 12-11 so one-sidedly.
It's crazy, puppy. It's crazy. But the map of choice is going to be Gresvan.
Alrighty, so a little bit of a bigger map here, more room to work. So Mondo, yeah, maybe not wanting to have such a scrappy affair this time.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a bit larger. There's quite a lot of defensive positions, quite a lot of aggressive openers. Aggressive openings do kind of give themselves available as the game does progress. So we'll see how things will progress here. We'll see if Mondo tries to pull off that same build again.
Yeah, actually, maybe that wouldn't be such a bad idea.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible, especially because maybe Cham would be willing to be a little bit more greedy on Gresvan as well. Or you know what? He could just go for an early pull. As in the bottom right-hand corner.
Light build.
In the bottom right-hand corner, we have Mondo.
And in the top left here for Starlight Twinkle, it is Cham.
I think we cast it together. I think it was I want to say it was the WTL qualifiers, where like almost every Zerg we saw did the light build, right? Do you remember that?
Of course, they know.
That was a crazy day of StarCraft, mate.
Hey, imagine not doing the light build. Cringe.
True. As we're giving a quick shout out here to the sponsors as well: Rio, Doyu, Hypergrip, not Hojo.
Have they still got Thank God It's Fridays?
Yeah, it's in the middle.
Best chair company ever.
Yeah, chairs?
Is that not TGIF?
TGIF Fridays? Don't you eat there?
Yeah, I mean, what do you sit on when you eat?
Oh, true, you eat the chairs.
Animal? Are you kneeling at a trough? Like,
I'm on my knees for Migs to please.
Okay. I've never understood that. It's provocative. But I don't know what it means.
You don't know what it means?
Gets the people going.
I can show you later.
No, that's not. My goodness, lad. Rowdy today.
It's a copy pasta, Poppy.
You're an animal.
Pasta. I love that. The other night when I was casting with Yaku, we casted Platinum Heroes and they fielded Migs in WTL, and we raided Colossal Gulp, and then after we raided, he was like, "Oh, I was on my knees."
Oh my god.
For Migs to please. Like he repeated it to us. It was beautiful. It was
amazing.
Beautiful. Oh my god.
The things I've missed.
I mean, Migs, mate, he popped off, mate. He popped off.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I believed when I mean, Demug is a great player, but like the Migs TVZ, it's too powerful. I knew he was gonna win. EU Zergs stand no chance.
No chance, Poppy. No chance.
You need a Cham or a Mia Micro if you want to even consider beating Migs.
True. Otherwise,
give it up.
Give it up, Poppy.
In whatever way you see fit.
Let's go. As we're getting into this game, once again, Hashgas pool all around. Once again, third base timings are looking quite normal. Cham throws down his Baneling Nest. Mondo, we're missing his.
Yeah, okay. I'm a huge fan of this adjustment. Cham wasn't very aggressive at all with the Ling Bane in that first game. I think he was more using it just as a counterattack threat and as a defensive force as well. For Mondo to kind of call that bluff and skip the Bane Nest, I think is a really cool move.
Yeah, he's not just skipping the Baneling Nest, by the way. He is flooding Lings. We see 16 Lings in production right now. He wants to rush across the map, deny the third base, and maybe do more damage afterwards. Cham has recognized that something is amiss, and he has his own Lings in production. He will also have Banelings at his disposal.
Yeah, really well timed for Cham. He's all over this. Going to be a few Banes. It looks like morphed in a location where they can make a little bit of a run by here. Behind this Mondo, going to be throwing down a pretty early Roach Warren, so he will be ahead in that regard. But I think it's going to be important that he doesn't lose his lings without getting good damage.
True. At the same time, the Baileys are waddling in. They're waddling in, and it looks like they have been spotted. Mondo does pull quite quickly. Oh, God! Oh, does pull back, but it takes 2 Baileys to kill a drone.
Yeah, great reactions by Mondo. Really nicely done. And he will be saving his lings as well. So everything looking pretty good for him here.
Yeah, he's ahead in workers. He was able to deal that damage to the third base. His own third is under threat, but he has plenty of lings to deal with this to force it back. But Cham is not done. He's morphing in more Banelings.
Yeah, Cham really wants this third base here. We do have roaches coming out for Mondo. They need to come out just in time. These lings, as he dances back and forth, he's just trying to buy himself time. The queens are under threat, but the roaches have arrived.
The roaches have arrived, but you know what? The third base is still surrounded. Even with this army, the third may just go down. No, he goes for the fight instead.
Yeah, Cham's so fluid with these lings. Does jump on top of the roaches, decides not to commit, and gets a lot of those units out of there. Will be losing the Baneling, and suddenly things are looking a little bit more in Mondo's favor as he charges across the map. There are a lot of lings for Cham though, so he has to be very careful not to get these roaches caught out.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try and catch some reinforcements. He may even snipe the third base in this counterattack. We do see some lings at home to defend for Mondo, but the Banelings are going to force him back. Meanwhile, the roaches are showing up across the map.
They are. Cham has so many lings though. Oh no, not like this.
Oh my god, the Baneling detonate. The lings get a full surround. We don't have Banelings to support Mondo either, and it looks like his roach army is going to crumble.
Yeah, no mercy from that Cham. He's going to be taking out many of these roaches, and behind this just continuing to flood lings.
Exactly. Mondo had an advantage, but alas, he was picked apart. His reinforcements are getting surrounded as well, and it looks like Cham is going to be able to rush across the map. Can he finish off what he started? Can he get that third base?
Yeah, Cham's still really low on drones. He's still behind Mondo in drones, and he hasn't thrown down a Roach Warren, so I think he actually has to kill this third base.
Oh yeah, he really does have to, and he has a lot to do it, to be fair. Again, because it's so crucial for the Zerg player, even if you rush into roaches like this, to get a defensive Baneling nest because of situations like this. As the Banelings are rolling forward, the roaches are getting surrounded, and the lings are being zoned away.
Nice snipes from Mondo, though. He's got clean micro, but there just isn't really enough units here, is there?
Yeah, it's a numbers game at the end of the day. The third base is going to be going down, and you know what? Cham wants more than the third. The Banelings get in! Up!
Oh, they are going to get in. They're going to have mercy on the drones, and the drones will live to fight another day, but there we go. We're going to go to the ace match. GG.
GG, well played. Cham does take game number 2, punishing Mondo for skipping that Baneling nest a little bit in the end, and it's all going to come down to the final game, to this best of 1 in the ace match.
All right. Who do you think we see? Are we going to see Cham vs Cure? That would be hype.
I think it's going to be Cure. I think if Creator didn't show himself here, then I think he isn't available, so I don't think they're going to whip him out for the ace. It's got to be Cure, and who are we going to rely upon for SLT to snipe Cure?
Yeah, it's got to be, I'm sure it's going to be Cham or Spirit. I want to see Cham.
Yeah. I think Cham would be a good choice. I know that his ZVT isn't his favorite matchup, but he has some things to say. But I do think that he has a chance here to cause an upset and bring down Cure. Cham has a lot of really weird and quirky builds and compositions under his in his arsenal, so I do think he'd be a good choice.
Yeah, he's one of those players where his kind of default mode of macro is really weird, and it puts himself in a zone where the other player's not so comfortable and where he's been a lot of times before. But at the same time, it's Cure. I mean, if anyone can adapt, Cure is definitely a strong candidate. On the other hand, Spirit vs Cure in an ace match, I think that could be interesting. Spirit was looking a little closer in that second game that they had.
True. It wasn't entirely one-sided in their first best of 2, so Spirit could be looking to redeem himself, or Cham could be looking to prove himself. We'll see. I'm sure right now they're deliberating amongst themselves. I'm sure they're having a bit of a chat. They're trying to figure out who has the best chance on Gresvan, as Gresvan is going to be the map of choice.
All right, yeah. I want to see the TVT, just because we're on Gresvan.
Okay, fair enough. You say Spirits, I'm saying Cham. I want to see El Chamaco party. Oh, let's go. again, man.
Let's
He's got the momentum.
go.
He just 2-0'd Mondo.
True.
This is when
Yeah,
they
I
come
think to
out
point
with
out as
spirit.
well.
I mean, sorry, ReWhite.
Yeah, maybe they want to rest their players up even in the event of a win because they do have Basilisk waiting in the wings.
That's the thing, right? Like, Basilisk is a terrifying team to go up against. We saw that Starlight Twinkle weren't too keen to play them earlier in the upper bracket finals, so yeah, this is definitely going to be an interesting one. Personally, I do think I would love to see ABYDOS versus Team Basilisk. I do think that'd be actually pretty sick and pretty hype. But it would also be pretty sick and hype if Starlight Twinkle are able to overcome ABYDOS here and get a better seed and get a better placement.
Hey, Q vs Cyril. Be a banger.
Yeah, 100%. Cure versus anyone there, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my god, Creator as well, Nightmare as well, even SOS. You know, they fielded SOS in the qualifiers, so he's available if they need him. Yeah.
Nice. That would be sick.
Oh.
I didn't realize he was back already. I knew Stats was back.
Yeah.
And I mean, Parting, I guess, will be back when his shoulder heals up.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Parting. I don't know if you saw. He actually followed the Twitch channel last night.
Oh, sick. I didn't see
Yeah.
that. That's so funny.
I didn't notice until this morning because I was getting ready for the ESL Asia stream when I saw the recent notifications, and Parting followed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Oh, let's go.
happy.
Shout out to Parting. The big boy.
Yeah, he knows what
We
to
have-
watch.
We have talked about his important thing on stream before.
Maybe it's time to talk about it again. You know, maybe it's time. It's arrived. Oh.
It's a good thing he only dislocated his shoulder.
Oh my god. What are you saying? I don't know if he can dislocate.
I'm saying it could be
the
worse.
others. Yeah. Ay. Well. How could it be worse, Asher? How could it be worse?
I'm not going to describe it in great detail. You're an animal. I think my favorite thing as well about that, that's such a
Excuse
weird way
me?
to put it.
Wait,
my
what?
favorite thing about parting and dislocating a shoulder. The only other thing I can really say about it as well is it's kind of funny how I think it happened after his military service. I feel like that's like the way that these things always work out. Like you do the big scary thing and nothing happens, and then you just go back to your normal life and you like trip on a desk chair or something, or like drop your shopping in an awkward way.
Yeah, it's a little bit smudge. It happens, but yeah, at least, you know, he's recovering and he's looking to make his return to the game, to the competitive scene, once he does recover. That's the other interesting thing about SOS as well, because SOS did take a very long break, but he did not go to the military, actually. I believe it was revealed that he was doing other things in his personal life, so he's coming back to the game, but he still has to do his military service, despite being on a hiatus for so long.
Hey, the timing. You can't be going to military service when Stormgate drops.
Oh, true. SOS. Shaky, man.
We need him to find the dirtier stuff in Stormgate.
Oh, yeah. We do. Maybe he'll stick around just long enough to do that. Maybe. But yeah. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised. It looks like our teams, they're still trying to sort their things out. Is it possible? Do you think, mate? Do you think Kier went to bed? Do you think he went to bed and they're trying to wake him up right now? They're calling him up on the phone. They're like, "Where's Kier? I can't get him." And they're like sending like Mondo out to like race into the night to like knock down his door. Like,
Hey, Kier's just like, you got the wrong number.
Oh my god. I feel like that may not be too far away from the truth, to be honest. That they're trying to get their hands on their ace, and maybe he's not available. Maybe he's in
I guess
bed.
he probably wouldn't have been expecting this to go to the ace match.
Yeah. Maybe he expected his team to be able to handle it, and now ABYDOS, they're panicking. Oh.
And yeah, ReWhite popped off. That was a sick game against Nightmare, that second game. That was a really fun one. If anyone missed that, that's a good one to go back and watch. Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy, Bobby, crazy. Maybe Kira's pulling a Rufus right now. A Rufio.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, sleeping in my lap.
Yeah.
Cure
Ash.
searching.
Oh my. Oh. Where is he? Is it like a
He's
the
under
Bushka
Rufus.
doll? That's gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Rufus
he's in
is
the
on
fluff.
you. I was gonna say Rufus is on you and you're on Cure.
Oh. But then I would have to be sleeping.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's a weird sandwich that we're making here.
That just seems really awkward for me because I can't move.
You
'cause
can't
I
leave.
wake
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
Both of them.
You're trapped.
Yeah.
There's no leaving. And if
Yeah.
you want a cure to go to your house and sleep under you, then maybe consider investing into TGI Friday chairs because the chairs are just that comfortable. That comfortable.
Where are you going with this?
As it looks like, wow, we have our ace and it's gonna be that TVT.
Yeah, they've woken him up. They've convinced him. He was like, I don't want to do it. Please. Don't make me play TVT.
But alas, we did expect Kira to come out as the ace. That does make plenty of sense. And because of that Starlight Twinkle, they did deliberate amongst themselves who would be the best choice to snipe Cure. It's going to be Spirit.
I'm going to make a crazy call. I think Cure goes for Proxy Marauder.
Do you think he wants it to be over?
Just one Rax.
One Rax. Not two?
Nah, just one.
Okay. Is he crazy enough to do that in the ace match?
I feel like he is.
Yeah.
He's proxied in some very high stakes games.
Yeah, and technically, his team is already in Code S, he wants it to be over. He already 2-0'd Spirit, so he probably thinks yeah, I'll do whatever. I'll win anyway. It's possible. It is possible. I don't think Spirit will.
Dunk on him. Yeah, I mean, Gretzman, it is a map with a few little cheeky angles. I know there is that little Reaper angle in the back, and I remember seeing Kira actually go for a Proxy Marauder against Neve on this map.
Oh.
Obviously a slightly different situation, but I mean, yeah, Kira, he's got a lot of different builds in his wheelhouse, and I want to see something nasty. I want to see him trying to get back to bed.
Do you want him back in bed, Buffy? Oh. Yeah. I want to see something cheeky as well, definitely. I lost. All right, mate. This music, it's so early 2000s. I
haven't
my
got
brain.
the sound on.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, this music, it takes me back to the Matrix. I think of the Matrix when I hear this music.
Okay, I'm picturing it now.
Yeah.
Maybe what I'm picturing it is better than it actually is.
Just turn on the sound.
Nah, it's better this way.
Okay. Fair enough.
Is it like the you wouldn't download a car music?
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of like techno-y. Yeah. Yeah. So you understand. There are people that are growing up right now in current era that don't know what you just said. They don't understand.
Haven't downloaded a car.
Yeah, they've never downloaded a car. They've never downloaded a phone.
Do people even pirate anymore? I feel like you don't need to. You can just get Netflix. That's what, I remember saying that when Netflix first became a thing, that I think streaming is just going to kill pirating because it's easier.
It's still big here in Australia because there are certain shows that aren't on Netflix. It was I guess it was a couple of years ago now, but Game of Thrones was
I was actually going to
massively.
say Game of Thrones. So that's exactly what we did as well. We torrented all of it.
Same. I did as well. I that was the only thing I was torrenting because HBO shows just aren't available here otherwise. It's so fucking convoluted.
They are now though.
Now they're
only in
true.
the last year or two.
Yeah.
I feel like our media has suddenly become just the same as America's media over the course of lockdown.
Yeah. We're holding on to neighbors, to home and away. Are they still a thing? Are they?
I have no idea.
Are they on streaming services?
Not really my thing.
No?
Neighbours is insanely popular in England. There's people who are just crazy about it over there.
It's crazy. I heard. What's crazy to me is that apparently it's also It's apparently also a thing in Israel because like Steel
Oh.
Mode. Yeah, I was talking to Steel Mode and he was bringing up all these Aussie shows. I'm like, what? He's like,
Oh
yeah,
my
we
God.
have them because they're cheap.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's funny. I find it really funny with England as well because they have their own versions of Neighbours. They have like Coronation Street and stuff like that.
Really? What?
And obviously they just like are trash because they'd rather watch the Australian ones.
That's crazy. They have their version of Ramsey Street. That's okay. That's wild. I kind of want to see it now.
You know, I used to watch those British TV. I don't really watch much reality TV, but I've watched like all of Geordie Shore.
I was gonna say, I've only seen Geordie Shore.
I've seen like all of it. I don't know why.
My God.
There's some itch that Geordie Shore scratches where it's just so incredibly dumb that it like goes past the disbelief stage, and I just enjoy it straight up.
Yeah, I can relate to that. It's wild. I haven't seen that much of it. I've only seen like maybe like 4 or 5 episodes of Geordie Shore, but like I can understand why people watch it, and I can't understand why people would watch the second American
Jersey
version.
Shore.
Yeah, right. Because I feel like
Jersey Shore is trash. It's so bad.
I haven't seen it, but I imagine, right? Because like I feel like there's just so much that's like innately English about Geordie Shore, which makes it so much fun to watch.
It's also funny when they're drunk and they're like, "Oh, we went down the tune in it, and we're getting down on the piss. We're getting real ratchy like."
Like that's the appeal. That's the reason why you watch it, mate. But then they're not gonna have that over in Jersey, as we are spawning into the ace match in the bottom right hand corner. It is Spirit.
And in, oh, they took their time this time. The top left-hand corner of the map for ABYDOS, this is Cure.
Oh, here we go. The ace players for both teams. It all comes down to this final best of 1 match. Both players have had plenty of time to think about this match, but maybe not so much Cure. Maybe he just got out of bench. Maybe.
Mate, the other part I really loved. They always say "uz." They use the royal self.
Yeah.
And they say "wah" for like multiple people. When it's us, it's "wah." And when it's me, it's "uz." They're like, "Oh, I can't believe you've disrespected us." It's so good.
It is.
I feel like all British reality TV shows pretty good. I don't know if it's just some cultural thing, like some kind of triangle that like Australians like British like American, and American like Australian. I don't know. Is it a triangle?
I was about to say that as well. I wonder if there's like an equivalent for like Americans finding like Aussie TV show fascinating because of like the verbiage and like how we speak as well. But I feel like we don't really have that many Aussie shows though, to be fair. Like, I mean, I guess we have like Neighbours for over in UK, but like,
yeah.
Would
it have to be like Fat
Houses
Pizza or something like that? Yeah, Houses or Fat Pizza.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh man, I don't think this is the case because most Americans are just like, "Stuck another shrimp on the barbie, ha ha ha." But if I ever went to America and they were like pointing Houses at me, that would be amazing. That'd be so high up. I
would love that as well. That'd be amazing. That's peak. Is it peak? I don't know, but it's it's a great way to kind of portray or be indoctrinated into Australia. Let's go.
Australia. I remember the movie Houses vs Authority.
Oh my God. All right, well, we've totally alienated there's so many people listening right now like, the hell are they talking about? Houser? What does that even mean? Don't worry about it.
We'll talk about the game. Spirit's doing this is my favorite. Oh no, wait, no, that's a reactor. Never mind. I thought he was doing my favorite TV build, but he's not. So forget about him. We don't care about him.
Oh my God.
He's gonna do the Beyond build, but he isn't. He just isn't.
What would have been the Beyond build? What would have it been?
The tech lab on the racks, and then you swap them, and you make the Cyclone. So this is kind of like that, but he's not going to get the Banshee. It's all about the Banshee.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. I'll be honest. In a TBT, the cheeky, the Beyond Banshee, if you will, as Kira's going to be
Yeah.
going out here with his triple Reaper to Hellion, is going to be looking to poke in towards the natural Spirit. I think he just sent out a couple of units, so he's going to have a little bit less to defend.
Yeah, confident play from Cure. Just going to be dipping in with this once again. Oh, and he gets
Oh,
a delay on the CC. Very cheeky.
yeah, nice little delay. It's going to cost him a Hellion, but we can afford to lose some Hellions. Meanwhile, at the same time, Spirit was able to sneak out across the map with 2 of these Reapers. He gets into the main. He's going to get a full scout off, and he's going to be able to get some SCVs, potentially.
Yeah, he actually dives into the main at a very awkward time. Oh my god, that was clean. That was sick. And he repairs the SCVs. Okay, he's only lost 1. This could have been so much worse.
Mate, that SCV movement was sexy.
Yeah, that was
oh my god, the way that he just, it was like seamless. It was like a choreographed dance.
It's the Busan shuffle.
the shuffle. God, that's not the kind of dance I was thinking of. But okay.
Hey, he shuffled the workers. One way, the other way.
True. He
What
Gangnam styled all over Spirit, mate. All over him.
Crisscross applesauce.
Oh my god. So yeah, I mean, Spirit was at least able to get 1 SCV and get the scout off for the cost of those Reapers, but now of course Kira is going to have a little bit of an influx of units to have that map control. Going to be looking to maintain that control as Spirit is waiting for a job to go into his main, but this time no medevac.
Yeah, so Kira not going to be getting that out, but he does have the map control, and with that he's going to be throwing down his 3rd on location. Nice and early as well. Spirit's 3rd is pretty far behind that of Cure's.
Yeah, it's only just now starting here, so Cure just doing a great job at just being greedy, maintaining that map control, just taking advantage of the situation and his opponent a little bit, and we'll see if Spirit can try and punish that in any way.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Cure just kind of wrapping out across the map, getting all this map control, trying to keep an eye on what Spirit's doing, but Spirit seems pretty happy to just sit back in his own base. I mean, it's something we talked about before as well. Spirit, an extremely strong defensive player, so he would not mind being kept back a little bit here. But meanwhile, behind this, Cure's throwing down some extra Raxes a little bit earlier, so he is going to be going into that more marine-heavy style, whereas it looks like Spirit actually going to be the Viking player this time.
Yeah, interesting how the dynamic is going to be shifting a little bit here as the Vikings have commenced for Spirit. Meanwhile, I guess we're going to have a more maneuverable army from Cure. Before that happens, though, we do see Spirit moving out. We do see a lock-on from both players. Both Cyclones will survive, but Spirit will force Cure back.
Yeah, you will push him back there. So Cure losing a little bit of the map vision there, but not too big a deal. Definitely looks like Spirit just looking to get that 3rd up and running.
Yeah, he's just situating himself so he's safe to expand. It is a little bit later. I don't believe Spirit was able to get an eye on the 3rd base location of Cure, so I don't really think he knows whether he's ahead or behind in the timing of that. So still a little bit in the dark in that regard.
Yep, for sure. As we see Stim 1-1 starting up for both players. Shouldn't be too far behind for Spirit either. And it's kind of going to be... Oh, okay, no, he only just starts his base now. It's going to be pretty far behind, as the observer is pointing out here. But what's going to happen here is Cure, with the earlier medevacs, with the earlier marine production as well, he's going to be looking to maybe catch Spirit out on the map or find a situation where he can pull Spirit out of position a little bit and go for a big doom drop into the main. Whereas Spirit's going to be looking to lock things down and be a bit more defensive as well. Let that Viking count build up and then use that to dominate the skies.
Yeah, he does go for a scan at the 3rd base location. He does spot the army, does spot the saturation on the 3rd as well. Should be able to recognize that maybe Cure has a little bit of a lead, and Spirit is actually going to be the player to move out here. This is going to be risky because at the same time as the move out, Cure is also going for the drop.
Yeah, drop going to be headed straight out across the map. We'll have to wait and see if Spirit's going to use his Vikings the same way that Cure did, keeping them defensively, but he has to be a little bit sus here. I mean, there's definitely Marines missing.
Yeah, there definitely are, and Spirit is turning around. He is coming back home, but I believe the Vikings are with the main army, and the double drop is going to go straight into the main. Is there anything to stop him? Oh, it looks like there was a Cyclone.
Yeah, well-placed Cyclone there. Cure doesn't want to lose the medevac, so he will be dropping back, but Spirit is going to try to track down this army, and I mean, Spirit's army is actually looking pretty terrifying here. Ooh, from downtown, Cyclone goes down.
Oh, does go down. But as you were saying, we've got a lot of tanks, we've got a lot of ravens, we have a lot of energy to work with as well. And Spirit is actually going straight into Liberator production.
Okay, yeah, I was kind of wondering when we were going to see this. This is something that we saw a lot from Spirit in IAM. He was able to use Liberator Harass to great effect to kind of just out multitask a lot of his opponents.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting here. I mean, it's a great way to kind of turn the tables and kind of keep Cure on the back foot while he pushes with his main army. But before that happens, we do have that double jump coming in, and Cure is going to be able to take a bit of a better fight against these Marines.
Yeah, without that medevac support, Cure absolutely shreds those Marines. He will be losing a medevac for that, but really nice trades coming out there, and he wants to continue to put the pressure on as he is moving in from this right-hand side. Great map vision there from Spirit, so he will see this coming.
Yeah, his army is going to be able to rotate over to defend against the main army of Cure. Meanwhile, Spirit is also aware of the double jump towards the south as well. Ooh, Liberator does run past it, so Cure does get an eye on that. Up! Oh.
He's just going straight on in there anyway, and this time he will be losing that medevac. Not too many Marines getting out, unfortunately, there for him. One thing to point out, though, Cure's 2-2 is really far ahead. And he's going to have probably more Marines as well. So if he can go for a massive 2-2 timing, that might kind of neutralize any tank advantage Spirit potentially has. He could probably just go for a massive concave and try to just stim him down with that advantage.
He really could, but you know what? The Liberators are about to arrive. One Liberator in the main, the other, I think, is going in towards the natural as we speak. And we'll see if Cure can keep up with the multi-pronged aggression as the both main armies are missing each other.
They are the two ships passing the night. Cure is going to be getting on top of the base much faster than Spirit. This is a pretty disastrous situation for Spirit just because there's so many Marines, so much DPS here for Cure. So he'll be able to absolutely tear through the base, whereas Spirit is going to have to be a bit more slow and prodding about it.
Oh, but nice target fire there. One Raven goes down, but the rest of the Marines do move command forward, and these tanks will be shut down at the natural Spirit.
Yeah, the Marines do bunch up a little bit, so suddenly the two armies are looking a little bit more similar. Cure with a quick unsiege of one of those tanks is in that there is going to be able to get it back, and actually I think Cure is going to be able to hold on for a little bit longer. Throwing down that scan there, he's going to be able to see that Spirit doesn't have any tanks to defend his main, so he should be able to get on top of everything a lot quicker.
Yeah, there we go. Cure, he's breaking into the main base, into the production of Spirit. Ooh. Meanwhile, Spirit, likewise, is getting into the main of Cure, but because there are tanks defensively, it's going to take a little bit more effort here for Spirit to break in and actually control the main.
Oh. Yeah, it is. It's going to take him a lot more time, but there we go. We have the disables. One more tank going to be sieging up, but looks like I think there's two tanks in range of that, so okay, there's just a disable anyway, so it will be disabled, it will be taken out. Cure is going to be broken here, but he has a double draw. Where the hell did that come from?
Oh my god, the double drop comes out of nowhere. He's going to be able to take down some of those tanks as well, so Spirit is hurting. He is behind in army supply right now. He only has 3 tanks remaining.
Yeah, the friendly fire on the tanks, they will be taking each other out, so 4 of those tanks go down, and that is super important for whatever comes next here. Looks like the Cyclone actually might be able to take out the Lib as well. Wow, Cure is getting so much value in the main here.
He really is, and in a base trade scenario, that is disastrous. There's still production going on by Cure, by the way. He's still making more and more Marines. They're banking up here in the corner of his own main base. Spirit is finally going to be able to get on top of these Raxes, but Cure's turning around.
Yeah, Cure's coming back, and if he can get the cleanup now, that might just be it for Spirit. How much energy does Spirit have left on the Raven? Looks like he might have 1 disable. Oh, mate, the Observer.
He knows. Yeah, he was checking. He's listening, Bobby. He's listening. As here we go. Spirit is edging on closer here. He's leapfrogging his tanks on top of the reinforcing army of Cure. He's going to be able to take it down.
Yeah, Cure going to have to take a pretty bad fight there, of course, as he does get forced into it. Meanwhile, the tanks are back home, but I don't think they've found a good angle to come on in. The Sable coming out from Spirit's going to be able to take out one of these medevacs as well, but I wonder, is Spirit going to be trapped in the main here?
Is he? I mean, Cure isn't really in position to stop him. Meanwhile, Spirit has a full mining base, by the way, on the right-hand side. So does Cure, so they both have an economy. Spirit, though, has rebuilt his factories.
He has. He's already getting tanks, already getting Liberators as well, so Spirit could absolutely win this. The supply going in his favor, the Ravens just continuing to accumulate energy. This could definitely be a Spirit win. I mean, Cure's going to try to keep him locked back here, and massive volleys coming down. Two of those tanks, or one of those tanks going down. Good reactions from Spirit, not just Siege the second one.
Yeah, it does Siege a little bit too close to the army. Even though he has the advantage of Ravens, he doesn't have enough energy to really disable anything, so Spirit is trapped for the time being. He cannot quite evacuate. Maybe he can Siege up and try and take control of that southern base, as Cure actually has a second base that's just about to get mining.
He was going to reposition as well, just make sure that they can't, that Spirit can't get that Siege above his base there. As you're saying, Cure is just going to be scrambling to get together extra production. He's going to be focusing more on Marines here, whereas it looks like Spirit is trying to get some tanks and Liberators out.
Yeah, speaking of, a Liberator does come in to support the army, and he is slowly edging his way forward. There we go. He's going to be looking to deny mining here for Cure, and this is the only mining base currently for Cure.
Yeah, brutal stuff there. These tanks in a really awkward position, and because of that air control that Spirit has, it's going to be very hard for Cure to do anything about that. Spirit as well, he has two bases mining now.
He has two bases. He's about to have a third. He has taken the very southern base there towards the south part of the map. So Cure is on a bit of a timer. He's going to have less economy, but he does currently have a pretty strong standing army. His tank count is pretty insane.
Yeah, for Cure, I'm not really sure what the path to victory is here, though. I feel like he needs to either break the army or break the base of Spirit. I'm not sure if he even knows where the base of Spirit is. He picks up in front of the Vikings. Pretty scary stuff there.
Yeah, that was terrifying. But now that the Marines have left, we can see the Liberator is getting in position to siege up upon those tanks and try and take advantage of that situation. Meanwhile, you see Cure is just sending everything across the map to try to break those mining bases of Spirit.
Yeah, and Cure doesn't even notice, so he's going to be losing tanks there. The Ravens accumulating energy as well for Spirit, so I think Spirit might have done this.
He may have, but Cure is across the map. He's also laying siege upon the mining base of Spirit. He does have a couple of Marines as well, ready to dive upon the second base as well, but he doesn't go for it.
Yeah, not going to be going for that, as there we go, the Ravens, they haven't got enough energy to take out the tanks. Anti-armor missile going to be going down as well. They're losing a lot of these Vikings, but every single tank going to be taken out. Spirit, I think he's done it.
Mate, Spirit takes down the main army. Sure, there's a harassing force across the map, but he's also getting on top of the production. Things will quickly snowball from here. Cure has to race back home, otherwise he's going to lose the game.
Mate, they were right to send Spirit in because he has done it. Work this game. It was looking a little bit scary for him in the base trade, but he kept the Ravens alive, he kept the Vikings alive, and with that air control, he is going to be busting on through. We have all the SCVs being pulled into the meat grinder. Big surround coming out from Cure. Cure actually takes out everything.
There we go. He loses 16 SCVs, and he lost his planetary as well, but his Marine army was able to swallow up the army of Spirit, and now he has some of that momentum, but he doesn't know about some of these mining bases, and he cannot break the defensive line of Spirit because of all these tanks.
Mate, Spirit has been working quick. He has bases everywhere. These tanks are, as you were saying, pretty much unbreakable, especially with the Marines on top of them. He does even have some vision over here further down, so Spirit just getting all of his boxes ticked, and once Cure sees those tanks, he might even just GG out. I don't know how you approach this.
He scans, he sees the tanks, he sees what he has to try and break, and he is up for the task. He's going to try and somehow find an angle, find a weak point. Cure, as we speak, is getting a second CC. As we can see, he's expanding over towards the right-hand side of his current mining base. So he is still looking to get into this. I mean, his opponent is currently contained, so he has a little bit of time here to try and rebuild an arm.
Yeah, I guess he can potentially threaten with all the Marines on the map. He is going to be getting that CC going down. Goes for another CC as well, but the Liberator has arrived here for Spirit. And Spirit, upon seeing how little is here, might even want to go for the push out.
3 Liberators harassing the one mining base of Cure. He's double expanding, but the CCs are not up right now, and Cure, he just can't produce anything. He can't do much of anything at all right here.
Yeah, Scan going to be going down for Spirit. Just trying to see where Cure's going from here as well. Looks like the staff not going to be finishing on up. Quick unsiege from Spirit. Saves a couple of those Liberators. Good stuff.
Yeah, now he knows where the army is. It has been consolidated back at home, and now Spirit is moving out with his bio tank army, and he's going to be pushing on in.
Mate, the Marines alone outnumber Cure, and the tank's going to be coming on in. They should be able to deny any mining at this next orbital. The Marines might even be able to take this out now.
I love that we're also not really using stim. Like, we have very few medevacs here as well, so Spirit is being very careful with his army.
Yeah, just a very sparing stim here, just to make sure that he does get this kill on the CC.
Yeah, the CC will go down. Cure, he knows that it's all on the line right now. He's trying to find another way and maybe try and catch the army on siege, but the Liberators come back in.
Mate, this is heavy copium. All these SUVs going to be going down. He pulls them away. Does have the Viking to help clean this up, but I mean, look at the economy of Spirit. He is booming back at home. Has another army plenty large enough to deal with anything that Cure can send him, and he's just going to be slow pushing these tanks along, making sure that he doesn't jump at the opportunity. But there we go. Marine stim on in, and there is nothing Cure can do about it.
Yeah, Cure, he's hoping that maybe Spirit is rallying everything across the map and maybe his bases are vulnerable, but no, the reinforcements have been kept at home. Spirit has an army. GG gets called, and Spirit takes down Cure, and he does it for Starlight Twinkle.
GG. Spirit has done it, and a big upset here for Starlight Twinkle. Mate, shout out to ReWhite as well. I think he was the biggest upset out of all of this. So great stuff there.
Wow, GG, well played, Spirit. Despite getting 2-0'd in the earlier series against Cure, he comes back, he fights back in the ace match, and he does it when it counts most here. Starlight Twinkle will be advancing on to the grand finals to face Team Basilisk.
Wow, all right. So pretty tough task ahead of them there, but they do, at the very least, secure themselves some more money here. So great stuff, and congratulations.
Congratulations to Spirit, Cham, and ReWhite for doing it for their team, for advancing on here. Again, I don't want to overshadow ReWhite as well. You know, every one of those players were able to take games, very important maps here in this series. My condolences to ABYDOS. Again, they didn't have the strongest lineup. They didn't have Creator or SOS, as we mentioned earlier. But yeah, they were looking quite powerful coming into this anyway. So pretty big upset.
Yeah, absolutely. So condolences to them, but of course they still do go through to Code S. So we're going to be seeing plenty more of them where that came from.
Oh yeah, and I want to see more of them. I want to see more of the waifu team, of the ABYDOS, of those 2D girls. As they're going to be taking part in Code S. Meanwhile, tonight is a special night. We started early today. You may be wondering, why? Why did we start early? Because today is the last day of Code A, and in 10 minutes...
Oh, I did not know.
10 minutes, Papi. The grand finals. Team Basilisk have been patiently waiting. They've been resting. They've been hibernating. They've been not smudging, waiting to see who is going to be their next victim.
Just like that. But we do have a nice decent break for Starlight Twinkle to collect themselves. And I invite you all to do the same.
True. I know you can't hear it, Asher, but we have some special music going on right now. We have some hype music going on right now for the grand finals. See you guys in 9 minutes. See you, Asher, in 9 minutes as well, because really the real victims are us. See you soon.